beaucoup de monde là, je pense. Le cadre n'était pas bon, je pensais qu'on était beaucoup. Attends, regarde. T'as assez, c'est bon?
Ouais, c'est bon.
Ça va le faire?
J'ai encore à droite.
Ça.
J'envoie la veille.
match ASVEL.
Statement. Congratulations to Paris Basketball. Played a better game than us overall. We had a great first half, I believe, and a good 5 minutes run at the end, but it wasn't enough. We had a long stretch without scoring and without making stops. That gave us a lot of freedom in offense in the first half, and we didn't succeed to do it in the second half. That's why we lost. We have to learn from it. We cannot play just 25 good minutes. We have to make it 30, 32, 35, even 40, hopefully, so we can win games.
Et qu'est-ce que forcément de la déception quand on a pas voulu en première mi-temps appliquer des deux côtés du terrain et que voit le résultat arriver, il y a un peu de frustration, de déception.
Il y a toujours de la frustration. D'abord, il y a toujours de la déception quand on perd. On ne peut pas être compétiteur à ce niveau-là et accepter une défaite sans ressentir quoi que ce soit. Il y a de la satisfaction d'avoir proposé des bonnes choses et on sait exactement où le bas blesse. Donc il faut simplement qu'on arrive à faire perdurer ça. On a été un peu dans le dur physiquement en deuxième mi-temps quand ils ont haussé le niveau d'intensité et d'engagement. Ça nous arrive malheureusement régulièrement, trop régulièrement. C'est une des qualités de ce niveau-là, c'est d'avoir un niveau athlétique et physique qui est très important. Bon, on sait où sont nos pistes de progression. Donc on va travailler, il reste des matchs et j'espère qu'on progresse encore.
Beaucoup de frustration dans le troisième quart-temps, la technique de Thomas juste avant, le même manqué de Bastien. On sent que offensivement, quand vous avez perdu cette relation 1-5 qui avait excellemment marché en première mi-temps, ça vous a fait un peu sortir l'équipe du match, quoi.
Oui, alors, ils ont été plus agressifs sur la balle, ce qui nous a posé des problèmes par rapport à la première mi-temps, notamment avec le défenseur du porteur de balle, mais aussi avec les intérieurs, ils sont sortis plus forts. Et nous, on a construit notre propre frustration sur notre jeu d'attaque, alors que la clé était défensive. C'était le cas en première mi-temps, et c'est ce qu'on a très bien fait, puisque notre jeu offensif était loin d'être parfait, mais on a réussi à courir et à avoir du rythme en attaque, du flow dans le partage de balle. En deuxième mi-temps, quand on fait pas de stop et qu'il marque 30 points, je crois de mémoire, en 29 et 30, troisième et quatrième quart-temps, forcément ça se délite. Et c'est là où le bas blesse, et c'est pas tant offensivement, parce que si on a des stops, on peut courir. On sait que demi-terrain, pareil, une défense bien en place. Alors, je ne ressors personne après les victoires, encore moins après les défaites. Après, si on parle de Thomas, il nous apporte son expérience et on voudrait toujours qu'il apporte plus, comme tout le monde. Mais aujourd'hui, il fait un match sérieux par moment et quand l'équipe est moins bien, notamment défensivement, il est aussi dans le dur. Il n'est pas à retirer il n'est pas à ressortir du match ce soir particulièrement. Et on a envie qu'il nous amène encore plus, tant dans le leadership que dans la qualité et l'enchaînement des matchs.
Dans l'image EuroLeague, c'est vraiment ce nombre d'intensité, l'apprentissage encore pour ce groupe, la performance sur les 40 minutes pour servir en championnat. Voilà.
Oui, bien sûr. Il n'est pas question d'utiliser l'EuroLeague pour se servir à progresser en championnat. Il est question de progresser tout court et essayer de gagner des matchs en championnat, évidemment. Et en EuroLeague aussi. Je refuse d'accepter de perdre des matchs, peu importe la situation. Donc on n'est pas en acceptation, on travaille. Et les gars travaillent bien, sincèrement. Et parfois on arrive à prendre un match et il faut qu'on continue à croire jusqu'au bout. Peu importe combien il en reste, il faudra toujours qu'on essaie de performer, de s'améliorer. Et le résultat final, on verra ce qui sera. Mais là, on sait qu'on a un trou qui est beaucoup trop long. Et on sait aussi qu'on peut faire des bonnes choses. Donc à nous d'étirer ces temps positifs. Merci à vous. Good evening.
Paris.
Good evening, everyone. I think it's a very valuable win. I'm very happy about the win, about the game, and just for the fact itself that I deeply respect what Pierrick is doing with the team and the way ASVEL is playing. Players they have, they are competitive, and also because the two teams came from a very different period. Like they basically had the chance to practice a lot, and we other way around. But we had many games, really many games, and tough trips also. So I think being able to stay in the game and at the end like really impose our basketball and create an important gap was pretty impressive. I think we started the game without making shots, then we lost a little bit of trust in collective basketball. We started to try to solve the situation individually. It didn't work, obviously, and but at least our defense was solid enough not to let them create a big gap. And then in the second half, like we switched it completely. It was great defensive effort. We really played good defensive basketball, and also we were able to score transition points. We created good looks all together, and just to end, it might look like the, let's say, lately a kind of classical game in which we take a big lead and then we blow up the lead, or we blow out the lead probably. But it was not. I think first of all they made big shots with players that are usually not great shooters, and that's something. Also, we kept our composure. We kept playing together. We never turned the ball over in those moments. So I think also from this standpoint, there's big improvement. And I think the work that the guys are doing is paying off. And I wish they're going to be rewarding even more during the season because of the
How do you manage to lock down the paint, especially in the third quarter? ASVEL showed a lot of frustration, especially Bertel with his technical fault. So how do you manage to get the?
No, I think that was. It's always the plan for us to be aggressive on the ball, but at the same time to protect our paint. Sometimes we're good at it, sometimes we're less good. And I think tonight was not only the helping, but was also the recovery of our bigs both the guys like Alain Dokossi and Mohamed Faye. They did a pretty good job in stopping the ball on the pick and roll. And then what made the difference was the speed of the recovery and the fact that they were able to arrive and block shots. Actually, the play that changed, I would say, clearly changed the game was the one in which Alain sprinted to recover, blocked the shot, and then on the other side down the ball on an assist from Justin Robinson, and that's pressures, and sometimes their job is not really rewarded by the numbers, I think, but they're doing many things that are not going in the stat sheet. Many buckets that our ball handlers are doing are because of the corporate screens that they are setting. They are attacking the ball on the ball screen coverage situation. That's pretty demanding, and they do it pretty well. They're always fighting against bigger opponents, and also that's something that is demanding. I think they did a pretty good job tonight, and it's worth giving kudos to them.
I think that the quality of your team is also everybody has a role. Everybody scored, I think, tonight. Everybody was involved.
I mean, we are trying to play collective basketball and extremely unselfish basketball since the beginning of the season. At the beginning, it looked like we were super smart and everything was working and everything was involved. Then we lost a couple of games, let's say more than a couple, especially at the end of the game. And then when you lose, it's tougher. It's tougher to get over yourself, to accept earlier subs. But I think, again, the guys did a great job in staying together and believing in a super demanding system in the tough times. And I'm not saying now it's great times, it's just we won a couple of games. But now again, what you're asking makes me think that it looks nice from outside. And to me, it's super nice. But it's nice the willingness of getting over yourself and playing collective basketball of the players that understood that there's a bigger good than the individual reward from the stats, from the numbers, and it's the team's good. So
It seems also that watching you on the bench, you were very patient. Nadia was having such a great moment, and then
no, he wasn't.
you woke up,
He wasn't.
and that's patience that really brings, confidence. I don't know.
I mean, like it's always the same. Like sometimes I looked stupid when I kept my, let's say, composure, and things were not going great. I think it's also sport and life. Sometimes you just trust people, be self-confident, and wait for the storm to end. And I think you cannot do it by yourself. It's something that has to be done from a collective environment. And I think, luckily, Paris basketball is this type of environment. And I was happy that tonight we played a great game, because it was the first night that Eric, that's an important person for our club, was here. He was just sitting on the court side, so I think the players gave a nice show.
How do you see the end of the season? EuroLeague, because it seems to be out of range for playing position.
Yeah, it looks difficult, but until the numbers are not, let's say, condemning us, I will go for it as hard as we can. And I already said, I think it's not just about the number of wins, and it's also something that we want to prove. We want to prove we deserve a little bit better than we were able to achieve in the last months of 2025, in which I think luck was not also on our side, and I think the team deserved better than the position we were occupying in this EuroLeague standing, and I think right now it looks like we're doing better, and opponents are respecting us way more, and that's giving us like some kind of satisfaction or happiness, and we wanna stay with it, and even go for more.
You say a lot about Nadia. Why do you think you have
Well, I think first of all, the ball didn't fall at the beginning. I think he created also some kind of good looks, and then I just believe that I think it was the collective thing, because at the beginning we were passing the ball each other, and then the ball didn't fall. So I think Nadir is a great competitor, and he's a winner, and he is still learning the point guard, let's say, job, and his reaction when things are not going, let's say, the way he would like, he's
the reaction is trusting what he does at the best, what he does as a, what makes him special, which is making shots. And that is great when you are just a guard, but when you are a point guard and the reaction is like to a collective thing that is not working, if you just force a little bit of shots, then it's not great because nobody else is touching the ball, and that could affect the defensive end. But honestly, I would not say that Nadir played that bad because he kept playing defense, and that's something that's super important. It shows leadership, it shows team first mentality, and also I think we will help the development of the player. All of us together, and I think the development of the player is super important for French basketball, not for Paris basketball. If we are not super worried about Nadir not scoring 20 points, I think there are going to be nights in which Nadir is going to do different things, and I think tonight he didn't score 20 points as he got all of us used to. But he kept playing defense, and actually at the halftime, I underlined the fact that he was the guy putting the most of pressure on the ball. Like he had like pretty good stretches against Harrison, putting pressure forward. So I think it's gonna be a process. And tonight, I'm not saying he played a great game. He didn't play a great game, but it's part of the process. And I think all of us should evaluate his performances not just based on shot making, but just trying to see all the nuances and the details of basketball. And I think Nadir tonight played also for the team in terms of defensive effort, and that's something important.
Can you say what about the communion with the crowd, the fans were
No,
really happy?
Yeah, I think also, thank you for the question. Thank you. Well, like lately we won 3 times on the road. Then we played home against a crazy good team. Not only a crazy good team, but a crazy good team that had an outstanding shooting night. I think we played with effort, we played with willingness, and despite the fact that we were not successful and the game ended up in being like a 16-point loss, I think the crowd felt the fact that we were fighting, and they kept pushing us and they kept standing by our side. So I think that the fact that tonight, after a tough start, and again they were staying by our side, was super important to reward them and give them such a, let's say, crispy second half. Thank you for the question again.